Starting college is always fraught with concerns, from finding classrooms to the add-drop class nightmare. For the last 12 years, Bellevue College has had a program helping neurodiverse students navigate all aspects of college life. Formerly known as the Autism Spectrum Navigators, the program is now called Neurodiversity Navigators, and both the director, Sarah Gardner, and peer mentor, Olivia Borg, are with me now. I like the new name. I like it because it's more inclusive, and I also like it because of the alliteration. Neurodiversity Navigators, they sound like superheroes.
That's true.
I think that's fantastic. This has been a 12-year program now, which is incredible to see a program last that long. One of the first in the nation. How did the program get started?
So we started as a pilot with a grant from the Bellevue College Foundation, and we wanted to see if we could even out the experience of autistic students at the college. So they kind of were having a roller coaster experience of a good quarter and then not a good quarter, leaving, coming back. And the pilot showed that we could do that. And so in 2011, we started Autism Spectrum Navigators, and it just took off from there.
So tell us about what the program offers to students on a day-to-day basis.
So on a day-to-day basis, students are taking any program of study that they choose. They may be pursuing a Bachelor of Science of Computer Science degree. They may be pursuing an associate's in a transfer degree to another college, or anything that they want to. Alongside of that, they are taking one of our career preparation cohort classes that is designed to help them find their strengths in their identity, in self-advocacy, in social interaction, not social skills, executive functioning, and self-regulation. In addition to that, they are once a week meeting with a peer mentor like Olivia to help them stay on track in classes and access all the campus resources, like adding and dropping classes, like registering for classes, etc.
This is incredible because it isn't just, hey, let me help you find, Hall Johnson Class 1A. I mean, it's really comprehensive. And Olivia, you were in the program.
Yes.
You graduated. Now you're back as a peer mentor.
Yes.
Tell us how the program helped you and why it was so important for you to get back involved.
Definitely. So I received a diagnosis very late, which isn't uncommon, I think, for people who are assigned female at birth in particular. So it wasn't until late into my junior year, early into my senior year of high school that I got my diagnosis. And so from there, everything just started to kind of fall into place and make sense. And it's like, okay, I don't have to struggle. So then when I started attending Bellevue College and was in the program, one of the biggest things that helped me was working on self-advocacy and figuring out how to ask for what I need and how to identify what I need. So yeah, that was a really big part of it.
That's amazing. It really is. It's a process, right?
Definitely.
How is it helping other students, fellow people who are experiencing what you have an insight into? How is it helping them on their travels?
So I would say that I've had quite a few negative experiences with receiving a late diagnosis and all of that. So then learning how to self-advocate and learning all of these skills, it's been really helpful because I've been where the students have been too. So I can identify with them and what they're struggling with, and I can really empathize with their situation and just find strategies that work best for them.
What are some common barriers that neurodiverse students face when entering college?
I think one of the things that we see a lot is that in their K through 12 experience, a lot of time is spent trying to fix them and trying to teach them how to fit into a neurotypical world. When they get to us, we use a social justice model, which is trying to help them understand that there are just some barriers in their way, but who they are is perfectly fine and they don't need to be fixed. And so I think the biggest barrier that they face is that attitude adjustment of, I'm okay just the way I am, and I need to learn to use my strengths rather than try to fix things that are different about me.
Right. And get those barriers to kind of move
exactly
where they should be. What about training? How does that whole work with you? How are the peer mentors trained?
Well, one of the biggest things we focus on is collaborative problem solving. So that's like where we learn how to work with students, and we're not their parents, we're not therapists, we're not teachers, we're kind of something like in between.
Yeah.
And when we learn how to collaborative problem solve, it's like we're not telling like a student like, oh, you have to do this, and like if you don't do this, then like you're in trouble. It's like instead we're like working with them and kind of helping them build like confidence in their problem solving skills.
What a gift of friendship.
Yes.
I love that. How is this program different from other autism or neurodiversity programs, support programs throughout the country?
So one thing I've already alluded to, we don't have social skills classes. We don't try to teach our students to fit into that typical norm. We do help them understand what are their strengths in social interaction. So how do they like to interact socially? What barriers might they be running into? Those might be sensory, those might be real-time processing. And how can they use their strengths to communicate and socialize with others in a way that they want to. It's also different in that it was designed and developed by me, an autistic person. So it has a lot more understanding in that area. There are some across the country now that are also have autistic people consulting with them. We also hire at least 50% of the people that work with us are also neurodivergent, and so we have a lot of neurodivergent staff and faculty teaching in the program. So that's one thing that's different. The other thing that's really different is there is no charge for the program other than tuition for the classes that they're taking with us, and those often count towards their degree.
And they will, oh, that's even better.
Yeah.
Oh, that's so great. It has been an absolute pleasure talking to both of you. It's such important that we start to realize, there, like you said, nothing wrong with that person. It's all been constructed around us.
Yep.
So I appreciate it. Thank you so
Thank you
much.
so
It's been a
much.
pleasure.
Thank